Once you go to an inpatient program, at the time that I went, you're done. There is no more for you. You are now a relic. You're a name on a whiteboard. You're broken. You're this broken asset, and you become now this expendable asset, because there's always going to be somebody, no matter how good you were, you're done. My first major incident, I was 19 years old, and my team leader stepped on a landmine. Myself and a couple others, another EOD guy, saved 3 of their lives. He was an amputee, and he's still active duty Air Force EOD. That's how my career started. And at that time, I was like, man, this is how my career is going to be. When you're dealing with someone who has chronic severe PTSD or traumatic brain injuries, on the outside, you see them. They're this able-bodied, strong-looking person, but you don't know what's actually deteriorating on the inside. If you think back on every time that you fired a weapon system at your combat arms training or whatever it may be, qualifying, the first thing you do after you get done firing those weapon systems is what? You clean them. Why do we not do that with our best weapon system? Our Airmen. And that's where we're getting to the point to where we have to fix that.
One of the biggest problems with head injury and the psychological conditions that we take care of here at the NICoE and throughout the military health system has been the age-old convention that injury to the brain can't heal, or that there's not a process by which people can get back to themselves and back to active duty. We know now that the brain has great plasticity. In other words, it has the ability to repair itself, create new pathways. Our goal here is, again, to identify those injuries and put those service members back on a trajectory of recovery that gets them back to their jobs, gets them back to their interpersonal relationships.
So if you go to combat, hey, you were in bad things in Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever you may be at, you're immediately going to the NICoE. You're spending a month there. It's not a, hey, do you want to go? You're going. And the reason they do that is they're taking their service members, their assets, and they're resetting them so that when the next pump comes on, they're ready to go. They're not still hung up on what happened on this last deployment. Even though they say they're good, they've gotten the treatment, they've gotten the road to care from the NICoE or similar medical facilities like that to go ahead and push on and continue their career.
As we opened our doors as a proof of concept, we wanted to be able to identify if this indeed was beneficial for our patients, and it has been extremely beneficial. To once we identify those things that work, is to pass along those lessons learned to the rest of the military health system and to the rest of the medical care community in the civilian sector as well. In addition to that, we had representatives from Eglin Air Force Base who are already implementing some of these strategies and techniques.
The center at Eglin Air Force Base, we are using a multidisciplinary team, and they're seeing the patient all together all at once. All of these providers come together to try to develop a treatment plan for the patient. So they interview the patient together, they talk about the patient together, and then they develop a treatment plan. And we found that this model works a lot better, it's a lot more effective at getting people back to duty.
With the Air Force looking and moving forward with setting up a NICoE down in the panhandle of Florida over in Eglin area, I think that that is the biggest step forward that we could have taken, because now we can take these service members and instead of having to discard them and making them this name on a whiteboard because now they're broken, we can reset them and get them back on the road to where they are still serviceable to the United States military, and they can continue their combat operations. And all this training and dedication they've put in, they can continue to do this on a longer scale than 6 years, 10 years, to where they no longer can do it because so much has saturated them that they can't recover from it.